A little longer than a few minutes later.
United 607 Heavy, Pennsylvania Tower. I'm going to need you to expedite left turn heading 110, climb and maintain 10,000. Collision avoidance. We got some damn fool in a flying shed buzzing the tower up here. State traffic in sight.
Yeah, we have the traffic in sight. Expediting left turn 110, climbing 10,000, United 607 Heavy. Did you say flying shed?
Yep, flying shed. Hey, Jimmy, you better call the fly boys on this one.
More moments later.
Woohoo! Come on, boys! No girls allowed in the shed, huh? Who's flying it now? Yes!
Eagle 1 to base, shed intercept 10 miles north of Bingo. Permission to engage, over. What the hell? We've got a runner here. Eco leader to base. Shed is uncooperative, giving chase, over.
Come on, let's do this! Come on, boys, catch me now!
Eagle 2 to Eagle leader. Shed's heading towards the tunnel. That's suicide. No one can fly through that.
Break up the pursuit. Return to base.
Oh, hi, honey.
Where you at?
Oh, just out doing a little shopping at the grocery store.
You sound like you're in a helicopter in a cave.
No, silly. Must just be a bad cell connection. I'll be home in a little bit.
Alrighty.
A few hours later. Yes.
What is up? What is up? What is up, my YouTube friends and family? I love you guys. I see we've got all kinds of awesome folks hanging out in the chat. We got Pima and Chance and so many others. It's freaking so awesome to have all you guys hanging out. I see the Logician is chefing it up tonight, which is fantastic, you know, because it wouldn't be a live streaming night without the Logician chefing it up. And we can see we're already on the point system. I always forget that I need to kind of, you know, push up the nose one a little bit. But you know what? It is what it is. Dimebag's in the house. It's been a while, my friend. Good to see you. BRS, hello. Tech Examine, of course, in the house tonight. DJ Amy, hello. Hello. So for those of you who might be new to the live stream, first of all, everybody gets to make me look like an idiot, which is always fun. Right, Canine Striker? You know it. But we also answer your live streaming questions and look like a nose guy while we're doing it. So we're going to answer your live streaming questions, and it's very simple to do. But first, we have to, of course, bring on my co-host, Monica, and in order to do that, we're going to have to make sure that everybody knows all about her.
It's Wednesday night, just after 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone. Hailing from an ultra-secret location in a room just below Michael, from a state that Michael swears is freezing 365 days a year. She's in charge of reading all your questions live, as long as you use the form. She's the real reason this channel hit 200,000 subs, yet she still can't get a word in edgewise. Here's Monica.
Well, there we go. Hold on, I gotta square it up. There we go, that's better. How you doing, Monica?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Welcome, everybody. It's been a while. We're glad to see everybody's here.
You should tilt your camera down just a little bit so that you look almost the same size. There we go. Now you look almost the same size as me. Yeah, that's better. That's better. So, we're doing this, right? It's been a while.
It's been a while. but we are.
I
doing
apologize to all of those amazing folks out there hanging out. You know, we haven't been on for a while, but I do, particularly personally, like to really engage with the warm weather when we actually do get it. And I know that I look fabulous while I'm doing it, but, you know, it's just all this wonderful weather we've been having that makes me look this good. It's just the way it is. However, since the weather is turning bad and soon enough we'll all be frozen to death, I figure why not start live streaming again, you know? Because at least it's something good. But before we can do that, we're going to have to make sure that everybody has their virtual popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you guys have your virtual popcorn, right? Yeah. Well, then what we have to do is make sure that everybody's popcorn is absolutely as large as it can possibly be. It means you can eat as much virtual popcorn as you want, and you'll never gain a pound. I mean, does it really get any better than that?
No.
I don't think so. That's what makes the stream. Yes, epic.
Epic.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we answer every single question that comes in on these live streams. We don't miss anyone. In order to do that, we have to go ahead and open up our question form. And all you have to do is ask your question on the form, and we will answer every single one. So let's go ahead and...
Question form is ready. Send them in, guys.
Woohoo!
We are waiting.
It's open and ready for your question excellence.
That's great.
Oh, man. So Howard, I mean, you know, let's bring Michael in here. The third member of our team and sometimes producer. He is also the curator of Tech Examined and the Apple Helpline. How you doing, Michael?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm surprised this is running as smooth as it is. Yeah, definitely got to have the Queensryche shirt on.
Miracles do, in fact, happen on rare occasions. For those of you out there who are live streamers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Trust me, it's still the night is young kind of stuff, and I'm sure that something will go horribly wrong soon enough. But I do notice that we have some serious discrepancies going on. We've got 40 viewers and only 12 likes. So that means there are a lot of broken thumbs out there. So let's go ahead and send out the thumb. Oh, there we go. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
There, I forgot to hit mine.
Uh-oh. You know, it's funny. I don't think I hit mine either, but you know, it is what it is. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So get your questions in. Are they rolling in on the form, Pumpkin?
Well, let me check. I should. Yes, we actually have some questions.
All right, we're getting there then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. I do like me some questions.
Yes.
You know,
that's what the show is all about. Questions.
I know. All right. Well, let me bring you in here. We'll have a little quaint discussion, and we'll get to those questions.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay, we will start with the first question. The first question is from Aiden Shorter.
Well, hello, Aiden.
He wants to know, how do I use Video Ninja the best way?
Well, you know, there's all kinds of different ways to use it. As you can see, I am using it in a multitude of ways, like my chat right down here. I show exactly how to do that in the video. And if you haven't seen the video, of course, one of my mods will post it in there. But we also have the ability to just select chat right from our thing. As you can see, Aiden Shorter says hi, and I say hi right back at you. But the video really shows you how to use it properly, and it's pretty awesome stuff. I really do like it, and the best part is that it just works. As long as you pop out your chat and you're capturing it, all this stuff just works absolutely fine. And so, yeah, not really much to say more about it than what's in the video. I go into pretty deep detail. There are a couple of aspects of it that I don't really cover, but they're not the kind of things that a lot of people are going to use in their daily lives. But I use all 4 aspects that I talk about in that right here in this live stream. For one, to the left of my thing over here, I have the chat so I can physically see it. So that's one aspect of it. It's docked right to the left of my screen. And then down here is the chat scrolling across so that you guys can see who's talking and who's saying what. And then I have the chat in here. I have the ability to go ahead and, select chat, which is another aspect. And then, of course, we use the emotes wall here as well, which I'm relatively certain somebody's going to go nuts and show you how that works. So those are all explained in the actual video so that you can see how it all works. I would definitely check it out. Let's get another question. There we go. I figured we'd have some emotes wall, folks. Hooking us up. That's why this audience is the best ever. The best ever. So the channel points stuff that you guys are seeing, I did a video on that as well. So that's what enables me to do the channel points that you see listed up there, which gives people the ability to do different things on my stream, like put me in a big nose or make me all sexy and hot. And there are lots of other hidden gems, and I'm going to continue to add more and more little hidden gems to the stream so that people can have fun and do all kinds of goofy things to me. Right, honey? Like the nose.
Right, honey.
That's our favorite. We love the nose. Thank you, Michael. All right. So what's the next question, honey?
Okay. Next
That's
question.
that's some big ass nostrils going on there. It is, man. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay, the next question is from Tyler's Variety. And this is a bit of a longer one, so let me read the whole thing. He says, is there a way to incorporate a TTS into Skype other than the one that is part of VoiceMod? I ask this because the one on VoiceMod doesn't always work right, where the sound can't be heard by the person on the other end of the phone call. Does the microphone have to be muted when using TTS through VoiceMod? Could that be why it isn't working correctly?
I don't know. I haven't messed with text-to-speech, in case you guys are wondering what TTS means. I haven't messed around with text-to-speech all that much, especially as it pertains to VoiceMod, because I think it's a very, very dangerous thing. I try to do a stream that is PG-13 at best. We rarely cross that line, just because I want to make it accessible to everyone. And I feel like when you open up your stream to text-to-speech for the chat or for anything else, when you run into the possibility that somebody could say some really horrible, inappropriate things. And so, yeah, I try to avoid it. However, there is an aspect of actually the chat thing that I show here that does text-to-speech. There is also an aspect of stream elements that will use text-to-speech. So, maybe if the VoiceMod text-to-speech isn't working for you, you might want to try the one from Stream Elements, which I think is really cool. That will basically do text-to-speech for like super chats and donations and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. The text-to-speech you can use for this will read off different chats if you decide that you want to. So like if I were to select a chat, right here, Amazing Yacht Destinations says agreed. Scared of text to chat. If you were to use that, it also will do text to speech just by clicking it and bringing it up on the screen. So there are different ways to do it. There's lots of different applications out there besides the voice mod one. So that might be something that you want to give a shot and try out if the voice mod one isn't working for you. And like I said, even if I do look this good, I don't have a lot of experience with those specific things. So there you go. Hopefully that at least helps you to find other potential ways that you can do text-to-speech if that's what you really want to do. But again, you don't want to get banned because some moron is putting, some sort of nasty comments and everything else in your text-to-speech. So keep that in mind. I'm not joking around. All right, babe, what you got?
Question from Larry.
Well, hello, Larry.
He says, can I really use live streaming to build an audience? Still a small YouTube channel.
All right. Well, this is really a good question. This is really a good question. I'm going to answer it as the Joker, because why wouldn't I? I don't think that live streaming is the best option to build an audience. I think that pre-recorded content is the best opportunity to build an audience. I do, however, feel that there is nothing better than live streaming for connecting directly with your audience. So in other words, if you want to turn the folks that enjoy your content into your friends or people that you really connect with, or just build a foundation for monetizing your channel, there is no better way to do that than through live streaming. Because when you're live streaming, it's not forced video, recorded content, or anything like that. It's you and your audience connecting directly, so they can ask you questions, you can interact. They can see that you're the same person that they see in your videos, or you're not the same person. But you can have an interpersonal relationship with the people in your audience. I'm telling you right now that so many of the things that you see on this stream right here happens because of members of this audience just having some fun or making a suggestion or whatever. And then it turns into a thing that happens on the live stream. Yep, there we go. I'm looking so good tonight. So that's my opinion. Live streaming, I don't think is a great way to build an audience. I do, however, think that live streaming is a great way to connect with an audience that you already built. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get another question. Man, my head even looks spiky. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're keeping it classy here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Woohoo. Oh, let's get another one, beautiful.
All right, let's move on to a question from...
Pick this one out. Oh, sorry. I interrupted you. I apologize.
Question?
Yeah. We're burning out, baby. It's better to burn out than to fade away. That's what I say.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Are we going to ask a question?
Are you going to let me ask a question?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I'm just sitting here like Pinocchio.
All right, question here. There's actually a two-part question from John Gotti. First question is, what software did you use to create your overlay?
I would have to guess it was probably created in After Effects or Photoshop. Yeah, if you really want to know how this overlay was created, there is a gentleman in the chat by the name of Chance that messed around and said, hey, I got a cool idea for your overlay. Can I send it to you? And there we go. So like I said, the audience of this live stream contributes so much to this live stream. But he set all of it up and did some really cool stuff with it, and this is what we have. So most of it is created in different layers in Photoshop. And the sponsor piece up at the top, that is part of a video that lays over top of it. And then the words going across the very top that tell you how to activate stuff like Mr. Alien Face here. That was created, that was all created in OBS. The chat down here created all in OBS. And then, of course, latest subscriber, latest super chat, latest donation. That stuff, the actual top letters are in the overlay, and the bottom stuff is all created in Streamlabs, or not Streamlabs, Stream Elements. And I have videos on how that was created as well if you want to check it out. It appears that I'm stuck as an alien, doesn't it? There we go. Nope, now we're stuck as this guy. Well, that's better. I like that. I like that more. All right, so let's get another question.
All right, second question from John. He says, how did you make your lower third animate?
By lower third, are you talking about the chat down here? Oh, there we go. What's up, baby? How you doing? Yeah.
Oh, man.
So rumor has it, you were asking about me. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Got the nose. There we go. Yeah. So, shall we take this outside?
I think. Wait, who?
I don't know how I did that. There we go. I think it's just spazzing out, man. Oh, no.
You got a lot of people with a lot of points. Did you answer the lower third question?
How did I do my lower third? So I'm not exactly sure which specifically lower third he's talking about. If he's talking about the chat lower third, I can definitely put the video, or one of my audience members can put the video link in the chat so that you can go check it out. It tells you exactly how to do the side-scrolling chat, and you can also do, vertical chat as well if you wanted to. There's lots of different stuff that you could do, but it does appear that I am stuck like this. Your mom always says, don't do that. You'll stay like that. And now we know. It could happen.
It could
happen. Could happen. I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
There we go. We fixed it. We got it. Let's get another question.
All right. Next question here is from Dwayne. This is also two questions. First question, he says, I stream at church using Prism, but I don't know how to get songs and the Bible on the screen.
All right. So I did a video on this a long time ago, and there's a piece of software that will work just fine in Prism, maybe even a little better with OBS that connects as a browser source kind of thing, but allows you to put up scripture and lyrics and all that sort of stuff on the screen, either at a time period or by, having somebody even remotely just tap a button every time it needs to change the lyric to the next one. Somebody is going to have to go through my videos and post the link. So Michael has the link. There it is. The scripture video one. I had a feeling he had that in his notes because I have people asking that question all the time. It is an absolutely awesome piece of software. And by the way, it has a bunch of different versions of the Bible already in there so that you can put the scriptures up really easily. However, it's not just useful for people doing church streams or Bible streams or anything like that. It's also useful for song lyrics and all that sort of stuff. You could put your own lyrics in there. You could put your own overlays in there. You can have a remote producer just change them whenever you want them changed so that you wouldn't have to physically do it yourself. It's a really, really cool tool. So definitely check that one out when you have a chance. I think you're really going to like it. And it's not just for Bible stuff, just so you know. That just happens to be what it was made for, but anyone who's slightly creative can make it do all kinds of absolutely fantastic stuff. It's really cool. There's no reason why you couldn't put other books in there. If you're a channel that's reading children's books that you do your own artwork for, you could easily come up and have it rotate through that stuff or whatever you want. There's so many cool ways to use it. So there we go. Hey baby, how you doing?
Hey.
You've been waiting for me, haven't you?
Not really, no. I haven't been missing you at all.
I don't know how you. Well, there we go. It's gone.
Just get rolling and it's gone.
The feeling is past. All right, let's get another question.
Okay, this is the second question from Dwayne, but this is similar to what John was asking in the previous question, because Dwayne asks, how do you get your screen to look the way it looks with your name and the thing running across the bottom? And you kind of addressed that with John, but
I did kind of address that, but you haven't addressed what we're going to do after the stream.
I have a thing I have to do. That was pretty lame. That was pretty.
I have some. All this stuff was done in Photoshop, and if I'm being honest, Chance, the individual who has the little wrench next to his name, is the individual who created this, so he can tell you which is on what layer and all that sort of stuff. All of the camera movement for me to go from this camera to this camera to this camera right here, all of that stuff was done. All of that stuff is done with the move transition in one scene, making it really easy to set up. So yeah, Chance can definitely talk about how this overlay was created, and maybe if you guys really want to know, since this is the second question tonight about this overlay that I've gotten in this live stream, maybe I can talk to Chance. Believe it or not, I talk to Chance pretty much every day now anyways. So maybe we can do a video on exactly how this overlay was created, because that way I would get to show you a bunch of different things. First of all, I'd get to show you how the chat's done. I'd get to show you how to do the stream labels, and then of course talk a little bit about creating videos like that sponsor video, and even a little bit about how we do all of our chat points and that sort of stuff. So hey, Just Not Good is in the house. Welcome. You're late. So we're gonna have to dock Just Not Good's points, I think. Is that how that works? Yeah. We should. Yeah. Michael says we need to dock people for not hitting the thumbs up. But how would we know? I am sure that most folks have hit that thumbs up. We just have some people who forget a little bit. It's okay. Just do it.
Do it.
It really does help. All right. I filmed a video today that I'm so excited about. It's going to blow your mind. There is a way that you could set up your live stream to basically produce itself. I'm not even kidding. It can change scenes by itself. It's awesome. And that video is going to be went to edit today. I'm hoping maybe next week it could get released, but probably looking at a week and a half for that one. But I'm so excited about it. This is going to blow your mind. It's awesome, and it's totally free. You could literally get a producer for your live stream for nothing. So, all right, let's get another question. And by the way, Adian, I see you're asking for points. The longer you kind of hang out and chat on stream, the more your points build up. So there you go. So there you go. You will continue to get points. So let's get another question.
Yeah, see, that's important information. You should tell people that.
It is. Yeah, the longer you hang out and participate in the stream, the more more your points builds up. And all you have to do is chat. Keep a good conversation going that's relevant to the actual live stream and have some fun, and your points will continue to build. It's an incredible thing. What's up, Fire TV? Did I see your question? I did not. I don't look at the questions. That's what her job is. That's her one job. So if it's there, she'll get it, and we'll read it. I promise you, we answer every single question that comes in on that form, so we're not going to skip it. Only stuff that gets skipped is, the occasional vulgarity and repetitive questions or something like that. Because I don't need to answer the same question 5 or 6 times. But generally speaking, we even still try to do, answer those questions as well. So let's do this.
Okay. All right. This question is from Cobalt Dale Gaming. And it says, mine is an audio question. When recording in OBS, I'm having low voice pickup. Then it goes normal. Then it cuts out or minimizes my voice, but the game audio plays normal. I use a monitor mic and hear no issues. Would this be a filter issue, or would it be a mic use? And how do I fix this? What filter would cause this, and what do I set it at?
Okay, so there are some filters, and let's pop over for the first time tonight to our little tutorial screen over here. And there are some filters that could cause weird stuff like this to happen. So if we go, I'm going to have to put a source in here so I can add a filter. So let's go ahead and put a source in here. Let's just use a media source. It doesn't really matter. Let's see here. We can use that, and you'll be able to see that has audio. So we have audio right here, and if we wanted to put a filter on that audio, we go up here. Now, some audio filters that can cause things like what you're talking about to happen if they're not set up properly would be the compressor. So, if you set your ratio wrong or something like that, it could cause your audio to fluctuate, go up and down. It could cause certain volumes to get lower, all that sort of stuff. The compressor can cause that. What else? There is definitely other things. Any kind of limiter can cause that sort of thing. Noise suppression can cause that sort of thing. And you know who knows a lot more about the audio aspects of this would be the logician. He is in the chat, and he may be able to offer you suggestions based on your setup as well. But the most likely candidate for causing your audio to go up and down and that sort of stuff would be like the noise gate and the noise suppression. Those two things, if they're not set properly, will adjust the volume of your audio or adjust all kinds of things like that. But as you can see, there's noise suppression, noise gate, there's a limiter here, there's gain and expander and compressor. Any one of those things, if they use the improper settings, could cause your audio to be muted or louder or any one of those sorts of things. So if you're using something like that, the easiest way to guarantee that those aren't what's causing your issue is just to remove them and see if it goes away. And then check it out. Also, like the logician says right here, turn off audio ducking if you have it on there. If you have audio ducking on there, or if you don't know what audio ducking is, you probably don't have it on there. However, if you are using it and it's improperly set up, that can definitely cause the problem. Like Just Not Good, compression can lower the volume if you're too loud or something like that. So there's a bunch of stuff that if you set it up wrong, can cause exactly what you're talking about. So the best way to get away with not having that problem is just to remove all of those and see if it fixes your problem, and then add them only as necessary and make sure you get the settings proper. So let's go and get another question. Boom. There we go. You're back.
Hey, I'm back. Okay, next question is from Aiden Shorter again.
Well, hello, Aiden.
2 more questions. First question is, where would you suggest my face cam go if I'm doing a gaming live stream?
Well, it doesn't really matter where you put it, and the only real, thing that dictates where you put your camera would be the layout of the game. So you definitely probably don't want to put your face cam over, whatever segment of the game that would have information that people are watching the game might want to see, like a mini map or something like that. You don't want to put your camera over that. However, you could probably pretty much put it anywhere else on the screen that you want to. But that's really the only thing that dictates where you might want to put your camera, is just not putting it over some sort of UI element in the game that's going to be covered up that your audience might want to see. So, all right, babe, what you got?
Okay. Second question is, can you show me how to use a green screen with OBS, like to remove the background?
Well, I have a couple of videos that show how to do that. However, I will show you very quickly the process of doing that. I used to have Monica set up with a green screen, which made it a lot easier to show, but I don't, however, right now. So I will show you how to set it up in OBS. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add a camera in here. Let's see, video capture device. And for my particular case, I'm going to go ahead and use a virtual green screen. Just to illustrate the point. You may not have access to this virtual green screen. You may have access to this virtual green screen. I do not know. It is dependent upon whether you have, it's dependent upon whether you actually have an NVIDIA graphics card. And the Logician posted some videos there that will help you to work through this. I'm not sure which ones those are. But I did do a video on the NVIDIA background removal. So there you go. That's basically the NVIDIA background removal in a nutshell. You do have to install a couple of things, but it works really well. Now the other thing, obviously, when you are doing this without a virtual green screen, and let's go ahead and remove that, basically it would be just me with a green background. So in order to remove the green background, all you have to do is right click on here, go to filters, and then click the plus, and you're going to just go to chroma key, and boom. Now you can select the color of your chroma key. In my case, if I select blue, you'll see it kind of removes some of the blue, and I can adjust the settings and all that sort of stuff. It's not really going to work with this particular setup that I have because I'm not actually using a green screen. So it can't tell much of the difference. However, chroma key is what you're going to use in order to remove your background from the green, or if you're using a blue screen, it'll remove the background from that. So that's super easy, and the videos that the Logician posted will definitely get you where you need to be as far as figuring out how to set up either a virtual green screen or a real green screen. And the key to real green screen is proper lighting. You got to have yourself lit totally separate from the actual green screen. So the green screen has to use separate lighting than your main one. That's why a lot of people go with the virtual green screen, even though, as you could see when I had it up there, let's just put it up here again, you can obviously see the flaws of the virtual green screen. It has its flaws. It is not perfect. You can see the blue through like the thing here. If I put my hands up, sometimes I got fingers disappearing and stuff like that. It's not perfect. But I'll tell you what, it's not bad. It's not bad. And it's free. So there is that. There is that. And lighting is key. even for doing virtual green screen work like this, if I was not lit properly, and I don't mean I'm getting high or I had a couple of beers. I mean, if the lighting is not proper on me, it wouldn't look this good. It would be all messy. So there you go. You got to be properly lit with lights. Okay. So there you go. Let's get rid of that and let's close that out and let's get another question. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
There we go. Don't mess around. I'm not joking. Oh, there we go. We're good.
Are we good?
We're good.
Okay. All right. We are good. Ready for the question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Pima has the next question. Hey, Pima. Pima says there's a comment first saying vidIQ says that thumbnails and good descriptions are key to promotion of your content on the YouTube algorithm.
And there's absolutely no question about it. The single most important thing if you're going to produce video content on YouTube are your thumbnails. You could have the greatest video content known to man, but if nobody clicks on your thumbnails, which is all they're going to see, well, then you're not going to get any views. So your thumbnails have to be on point. And then secondly, your title has to be clickable as well. It has to be something that's interesting, and it has to mesh with whatever you're saying in the video and what the thumbnail looks like. Those two things make or break a YouTube channel, not the actual video content. You know, you obviously have to have good video content that backs up that backs all of that stuff up. You do. You have to have good video content, because even if people click on it, they're going to click right off if your videos suck. However, they're never going to click on it at all if you don't have good thumbnails. So there you go. That is how it works. Let's get another question. We're back.
Okay. Pima has a question. Now there's a question. Any way you can post on your gear that you use and your computer specs? This would be very helpful.
Well, I have done videos on all the gear that I use. I guess it's probably time for me to do another update on all the gear that I use, maybe do a video on it. I will be putting out a video in the coming weeks. I just filmed this week. That's kind of, you know, the holiday wish list for live streamers that talks about webcams, you know, basic stuff that a starting streamer might want, like lighting and webcam and microphones and that sort of stuff. But that's not the stuff that I use, because I'm not a starting out streamer. That's the stuff I used when I did start out. So for this stream, I use a Sony a6400 or a6500, depending upon which camera I have loaded up on the tripod. The other one is right here, so you can see what it looks like. And the one loaded up and filming this is the exact same lens. Actually, it's not the exact same lens. That's my other lens. I have the exact same lens right here. This is the lens that's on that camera right there. It is about as cheap as you can get. I think this is like, I don't know, 30 bucks or something. You hear about people paying thousands of dollars for lenses. It's a 35 millimeter kit lens that you have to manually focus. So it's as cheap as they come, but it works. Obviously, you can see my image is perfectly clear. I get the bokeh in the background, which I think looks pretty good. This whole setup, I'm pretty sure you could get the A64 or A65 camera for around $400 used, which I'm not afraid to buy this stuff used, simply because people buy DSLR equipment all the time and never use it, and it sits in a box. So, you know, it looks almost as good as I do when you get it. And then something like this, you could just get off eBay or whatever. You can mess around with different focal lengths depending upon your room size to get the exact look that you want. It teaches you a whole heck of a lot about learning about cameras. I'm using the CamLink Pro, which is a card that goes into your computer to bring the camera into my computer. However, for years I used a CamLink that is just a wire, a wire dongle. There we go. Thank you, Karen, for becoming a subscriber. I appreciate it. It's just a wire dongle that you plug into USB. Works absolutely fantastic. It's actually one of the things that will be on my holiday wish list for people who are considering going with something like this. The microphone I use is Sennheiser. I don't remember the actual nomenclature. Let's bring Michael in here. What's the actual number on it?
It's a MKE 600, I believe.
Well, let's see. I have another one right here. So this is the microphone that I use.
Yep, MKE 600.
And yeah, it's an MKE 600. Why do I use this? Because I can put it anywhere I want off screen and the audio sounds pretty good. As you guys know, I use it for my videos. I use it for my live stream. And what I really love about using this microphone is, while it is DSLR, I have it connected to one of these things. I can plug it right into my Sony a6500, and I never have to worry about any sort of out of sync audio problems with my main camera. So that is, one of the biggest complaints and problems that most live streamers have. My audio doesn't line up. That almost always happens when they're using USB for a microphone, separate from USB from a webcam, and then those come together and USB buses are messy. Here, even if I'm connecting it to the computer through USB, the audio and the video are both coming in on the same signal. It's always going to sync up. So it's one of the beautiful aspects of using a DSLR camera. However, I mean, I think the Sennheiser microphone is like a $300 microphone. It is not cheap. And obviously a DSLR camera setup, like I said, the camera used is probably $400, and the lens is about $35 to $100. And then, of course, you've got tripods and all that other sort of stuff, cables to get it all set up. I think the CamLink, the cheap one, is, $150. It's not a cheap setup, which is why I don't generally talk about my personal equipment, because I make a living on YouTube, so that cost pays for itself through the videos. When you're just starting out, that cost may not make sense for you. A lot of people it doesn't, because when you're first starting out, that cost has to come out of your pocket. However, when I first started out and I decided this was a thing that I wanted to do, I spent the money back then when I didn't have it to get the equipment so I could get the look that I wanted. Because I figured in the future that would help me, because I already had the look I wanted. Whether that paid off or not, and whether I couldn't have just done all the same stuff with the camera on my cell phone, I don't know. I didn't do that, so we'll never be able to know and find out. However, you can get pretty epic image quality and all that sort of stuff right on your cell phone without ever having to buy a webcam or anything like that. So, just keep all that in mind. However, if you are to be using your cell phone, I would still probably recommend that you get a decent microphone. I would definitely be recommending that you get a decent microphone. Dimebag, what is the cheapest overkill main camera lens? Maybe mirrorless. I don't know what the cheapest overkill main camera is. I know that a lot of people that I know who use their cameras for live streaming use pretty much the exact same setup that I do. And Logician is probably not wrong. The Canon 70D is very popular and very, very unnecessary. It's a lot of freaking money, and I'm not really sure how much it benefits. The Sony a6400 and a6500 that I talked about today, I can film in 4K. I could theoretically run this live stream right now in 4K because my capture card handles 4K. So I could be doing this stream in 4K, but only 3 people would be able to watch it anyway, so I don't see the point. However, it gives me the option to do that if I want. If you're going to buy a 4K webcam, they're like so expensive. Like for a really good 4K webcam, if you're going to spend that kind of money to get a 4K webcam that you're never going to stream in 4K with anyways, you may as well go DSLR, in my opinion. But hopefully that answers your question. Let's get another one. That's the most I've talked about my own gear in a very long time. It might be time to do a video update for it because, I mean, I have all kinds of other stuff I didn't talk about either, like my remotes and that control my lights and, you know, all of the money that I spend on stupid things in the background just to make it look interesting and to, you know, say a little bit more about me. Every time we go to Hobby Lobby or something, right, honey? It's the first thing I do is, oh, this would look really cool in my background.
Yeah, it would. You could always get new stuff. Always switch it out. You can, you know, different seasons and different, you know.
Yeah, I have a whole studio set up over here that I never use. It looks really cool though. Yeah,
Yes.
you could. Except for that you're in a room that's about this big and you're kind of squeezing around all the camera gear and tripods. So there's that, but yeah. All right. And nobody heard that anyway, so I have no idea. Michael said you could have a meeting in here. And I said, yeah, well, you could if you wanted to be squeezing around all the tripods and cameras and stuff. Let's get another question.
Okay. All right. So we have Mike.
Hold on. Just one moment. Johnny, there is a question form for you to ask your questions so we get to every single one of them. One of the moderators will put that link in there for you. Go ahead, babe.
Okay. We have Matthew Kelly's first and only question tonight.
Oh, man. Only one?
He says, I had a browser not responsive going on before I live streamed to grab all 3 chats, make Twitter posts, and do Facebook edits. How do I make the Microsoft Edge browser responsive enough so that I can still start streaming? Start streaming.
So basically saying his browser went unresponsive before he live streamed. And the best way to fix that is just to right click on the browser and refresh it. It should refresh all the pages, but it will keep it on the same page and all that sort of stuff. Chance of suggestion, do not use Edge. Yeah, I would lean that direction as well. I use Chrome. Some people hate it. Most people hate it. But I find that it's not failing me anywhere near as often as other browsers do, although I do use a pretty heavy dose of Firefox as well, but I do not use Edge. So I don't have experience with it. But in my experience with Chrome, when it becomes unresponsive, which Edge is based on Chrome, if you start right-clicking and just refresh the pages, they somehow, a lot of times, become more responsive. So hopefully that helps you out. We'll see. Let's get another question.
Okay. Next question is from Frank Kirsch.
Well, hello, Frank.
Let's
take a quick second. Oh no, go ahead and ask Frank's question. Then we'll get to the likes and see if we need to bring out the thumbulence again.
Okay. All right. So we're doing Frank first. Okay, Frank's question.
We're doing Frank first.
I am sure that I remember you covered how to do this in the past, but I couldn't find it. How can you stream a live sports score from an RSS feed to a podcast where it is like a game watch along? I could not find anything on OBS that allows you to do this.
All right, so the easiest way to do it, let's pop over here to our tutorial screen where I can show you right over there, actually, that we have 55 viewers and only 47 thumbs up, which is a travesty. There can't be that many broken thumbs. So let's hook it up, guys. Let's get those thumbs working. It really does help. Anyway, let's go over here and we'll bring this up. So if I wanted to capture a score from an RSS feed or something like that, and I talk about doing the same thing live, basically you're going to have that RSS feed loaded up on something like a web page or whatever. So let's just say what I would do is I would click the plus and I would go to and let me bring up a page here. Let's use this page as an example. I'm going to bring it up here and put it on my other screen so that I can capture it. Then I'm going to click the plus and I'm going to go to our I'm going to go to a window capture for this, right? And I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to just select which window I want to capture. In this case, we're going to capture Google Chrome, and we're going to click OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it to the location that I want to highlight. In your case, it will be the scores. In my case, it's going to be the discrepancy between the likes and the thumbs up, which appears has been dealt with. But I think it's pretty exciting that it's been dealt with. Look at that. People, you guys are amazing. So there we go. So now we have the score. We have 53 concurrent viewers to 54 likes. Look at that. Likes are winning. Oh, viewers are winning now. So we've got some viewers that have, but you can see what I'm talking about here. That is the easiest way to do something like that, is just to capture the screen that your RSS feed is on and then plop it in there. And the best part is now I can move this down here, and by the way, it will still be there. I just kind of have to crop it up again and all that sort of stuff. So, it's one of those things where you probably want to put it where you want it and leave it there, because messing around with the screen will mess around with the actual layout and all that kind of stuff. But there we go. Concurrent viewers right now are winning, but likes are definitely coming back. So there you go. Let's get another question. That was a good one. I like that one. We haven't heard that question in quite some time. So that's a fun, easy one. What you got, babe?
Follow-up question. Yeah. What? Do you have something else?
No, I'm just flinging the nose. We're doing some booger rockets. No.
Okay. We have another question from Dwayne. He had asked about your overlay, and he wants to know, is the overlay possible in Prism?
Yes, absolutely. There is nothing that is in this overlay that you could not do in Prism. The only thing that I would say is in this overlay that you couldn't do in Prism is something like this, where Mr. Stoneth, the highlighting of the chat. However, I am working with I am working with them. Thank you, Storm Chaser 2010, for sending your question in. I am working with them to try to get make sure that we can get stuff like that set up. And actually, if I'm being honest, that's not 100% true, because you can put the Social Stream Ninja stuff just in a website, and then I could put the browser source in here and still be able to actually do stuff like this to bring up different stuff. So I can definitely do that even. So the only thing that I can think of that you couldn't do in Prism that's in my live stream that you can do here is the StreamerBot stuff. And that's just because Prism right now doesn't have a way to directly connect with StreamerBot. However, I'm sure that Prism Live Studio will be added to the StreamerBot docket at some point, so that you'll be able to control all of the same stuff in Prism that you can control in StreamerBot that you could do in OBS. So we're getting really close. StreamerBot, our OBS Prism gets better every single day. So I'm pretty excited about it. And for those of you Mac folks out there who are still waiting, I hear you. I hear you. It's coming. It's really soon. I think they're going to release Prism Lens within the next few days or so. I got an email from them earlier this week, so hopefully that'll be here soon. Yeah, let's get another question. Nice. Taking the BMW for a burnout. Things that I don't think will ever really happen in real life at 158 horsepower on a 6,000 pound car. But you never know. You never know. I think once the turbo's done, and I know people are there going, what is he even talking about? Once the turbo's done, I think we're going to get close to 300 horsepower. And I think that maybe a 300 horsepower car can do a burnout, even if the car is 6,000 pounds. Maybe not. We'll have to see. For those of you who do not know, I do have another channel. It's called For the Love of Cars. Right now, I am actually doing a complete reconditioning of a 1984 BMW 733. So, that is what all of the car stuff is about. That's that car that we use for the burnouts and all kinds of other stuff. And Chance did post a link there if you wanted to go and check out the channel. It's pretty fun. I don't take it too seriously. And let's be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out. However, I did buy an old beat-up 733. I did redo the entire engine. And I actually ended up putting a completely bespoke ECU on that engine. And we're tuning it. And now we're dropping a turbo on it. So it's going to be fun. If you want to see more about that build, you go on there and check it out. It's a lot of fun. And let's get another relevant question to live streaming.
Okay. All right. Here's one that you might like. It's from K9 Striker.
Well, hello, K9 Striker.
Do you have any recommendations for a new nonprofit starting a YouTube channel? We don't have any content yet, just a blank channel, but plenty of ideas for what we want to start working on.
Interesting. So you don't specifically say what your nonprofit is or what it's meant to benefit. But the first thing that I would say is that if, is the question so it's a horse rescue. Holy crap. That's a freaking gold mine, K9 Striker. I'm telling you right now, there are millions of people who would love to just learn about these horses, learn about how they're living, learn about the conditions in which they were found, getting to see the horses, getting to see people riding the horses and talking about the horses' personalities. I mean, my God, that's a freaking gold mine right there. That is awesome. Hey, if you ever want somebody who's never ridden a horse that really, really, really wants to ride a horse to come out and help you film something and get to ride a horse, you should let me know, because I'd really like to. That's one of my things. I've always wanted to ride a horse. But I am telling you right now, that is a gold mine. Monica, let's bring Monica in a little bit. Tell them what you are. Tell them where your rabbit hole is right now. Your YouTube rabbit hole.
I'm confused. I'm like, what? Right now, I am addicted to a channel where they actually, they're from Africa and they're actually saving Cape fur seals. They actually go out on a daily basis because the seals get entangled with lines and wires and things that are found in the ocean. And they free the seals and they cut them and they release them. And I've just been pretty much addicted with that. Anything having to do with animals, that's my forte. I just love anything dealing with animals. So I can get lost on that every once in a while, but that's me. That's me. So to hear about a horse rescue channel, that's wonderful. I think that's amazing stuff, and I hope you do well.
Absolutely. So if you want to get ideas on how a channel like what you're talking about doing can work or be promoted, or the kind of things that you can film or do that can really push an audience, maybe that's the right channel for you to check out. Because Monica, it's so funny. She's like, man, I've worked so hard today, I didn't have a chance to save any seals. And, you know, you can really feel like that, too, when you watch content like that, because you know that those channels make money from you watching their videos. And with that money, they're going to go out and save more seals. How could you possibly... I mean, that's awesome. So that's why a channel like Horse Rescue, holy mackerel. I mean, I love horses. I love animals. That would just be a thing where I'd want to know what the story was. I'd want to see how the animals showed up from wherever they're being rescued from and how they were rescued and, you know, where they're going to be living now and talking a little bit about their personality. Maybe they came in and they were really shy and they were afraid of people at that point, and then they turned around and, oh my gosh, to me, that's a gold mine. That's an absolute gold mine. So I'm excited for you, K9. That sounds really cool. All right. Plus, I want to ride a horse, so please call me. I really, yeah. I have a friend who lives in Lexington, Kentucky, which is like the horse racing capital of the planet. And every time I go down there, I'm just like, hey, so you know anybody who has a horse? Still no. I still haven't ridden a horse. Well.
Yeah.
Hey, Sandy, how is Monica? How is Michael? Well, thank you, Sandy. I, for myself, am doing exceptionally well. And as soon as we get off of this screen, we can ask Monica how she's doing. But how are you doing, Sandy? It has been a minute. I hope you're doing fantastic. And thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. I wonder, yep, there, it's even working right today. How are you doing today? Hold on, let me, there we go. There we go. Then I get centered. I got to find my center. How are you doing tonight, honey? Sandy would like to know.
I'm doing wonderfully, Sandy. Thank you for asking. It's been a while since we've been on, but it's great to see everybody, and it's good to see you here.
Sean C says he can have me riding a horse towing the BMW. Oh, there's that poor horse would die. That stupid BMW weighs about 6,000 pounds. It'd kill the poor thing. That would be horse abuse for sure. We'd have to get all the Clydesdales team together to do that.
You have to have quite a few. It's possible. Yeah. Santa does it every year.
I hear we have a lot of questions, so we're gonna have to drive on. And I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and we're going to click on the where is it here? I don't see it. Question. There we go. We're going to click on that, and that
May I have your attention? The form will be closing in 10 minutes. Please make your final submissions and bring them to the front of the form now. An associate will assist you in reading your question on stream. As always, thank you for being a valued live stream participant.
What we've got. And Michael's request is also, what was that?
Keep them to live streaming, please. Like, you know, I know you want to ask Michael how he's doing, but please keep it to live streaming. And you don't need to submit your question over and over again either. So
I'm doing pretty awesome. So there's
I know you're doing
questions answered. What you got, babe?
All right. Professor Mark has a question. He wants to know, which is the better filter, chroma key or color set?
I've never used color set, so I can't have an opinion on it either way. So I've never actually even heard of it. But it is possible when you ask a question like that, that somebody who is in the chat might have the answer that you're looking for. So anybody in the chat who has had experience with both chroma key and, what was it, color source?
Color set.
Color set. Maybe help him out and let him know what you think in the comments. Thank you. Let's get another one.
Okay. This is from Two Pineapples. We use OBS.
Hey, did you know? Hold on a second. Did you know that in the 50 in Australia is called a pineapple?
What?
Yeah, a 50 in $50. I guess it's not dollars. I don't know, but a 50 in Australia they call it a pineapple.
I did not know
So,
that.
Yeah, so when they're doing street racing, they'll do it for 4 pineapples, you know.
Oh.
Which is like 200. I thought that was so funny. I really think that's cool, you know, because I like pineapple. It's pretty yummy. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. I can see that it ruined your day. But now you know, if you go down to Australia, you can bust out the pineapples and have a spree.
Pineapples. That's right. Because I think 2 pineapples was in the stream last time we were here. I kind of vaguely remember them. So
that's like $100.
That's like $100. $100. Okay, so their question: we use OBS for home live streaming, but YOLO Box Pro when live streaming on the erupting volcano. Interesting. Can you recommend a more reliable multicam encoder or streaming device?
Honestly, no. I really can't. And mostly because the YOLO box is the only one that I've had experience with. But if you are having difficulty with it, potentially the solution would be to find another way to actually stream it. So I don't know if you are streaming it using your encoding card inside the thing. For those of you who aren't familiar, let me show you what I'm talking about here. The YOLO box, basically you can plug in all your cameras and everything into this and take it anywhere you want and stream directly from here. And it has multiple different ways that you can use it to stream. So you can plug it in. You can plug it in with Ethernet. You can set it up with Wi-Fi, and then you could actually put your phone SIM in there and use it to stream on the phone. Now, what you have to understand is, obviously, when you're on a volcano, you can't plug it in through Ethernet, and you're probably not getting Wi-Fi anywhere. So your best choice is obviously your Ethernet or your SIM card from your cell phone. You have to understand that, well, let's just be honest. Sometimes cell signal is not what you would hope. So sometimes cell signal is not what you hope, and that's what's causing your problem. It's not the box. It's your cell signal. I streamed on my cell phone every single day from all over the country for almost a year. And sometimes it went great if I had great cell signal, and sometimes it went poorly. And if you don't have at least 2 bars of cell system, it's pretty much unusable. You really need 3, 4, 5 bars of cellular service in order to really get something like this to work. So the alternative for just a regular stream would be to use your cell phone instead of the YOLO box, and you might have a slightly better results. But my guess is what I would do is I would look for possibly what's that Elon Musk service, Starlink. I would look for see if you can get Starlink in your area. It is literally internet service that you can carry around with you, so you can take it to where you want to stream from. Well, thank you very much, Activate LA. You can take it to where you want to stream from, and you can set it up there and just Wi-Fi off of that, and it will be better than the cell service that you're getting and probably more reliable, although I don't know how fast it is from an upload speed perspective. Activate LA says, I really appreciate your channel. Hold on, stop scrolling so I can actually see this. I really appreciate your channel and tips. Thank you. Any website for free, royalty-free background pictures and videos. Thank you again. Well, if I use any of that sort of stuff, I almost always modify it anyways, so I don't necessarily really worry about royalty-free. Because if you take someone else's photograph and you modify it to make it do what you want, you've actually modified the photograph. It's kind of like a video. If I wanted to play a movie on my live stream, I couldn't do that. However, if I was going to play a movie on my live stream where every 15 seconds to 20 seconds I was going to stop that movie and add my own commentary over top of it about what I liked about the last 30 seconds or whatever, that would be me adding something to that content, which would make it perfectly legal to do on YouTube. Photographs and images work the exact same way. If you find something or some aspect of a photograph or an image that you really like, you bring it into Photoshop, you modify it for your needs. Maybe you change up the coloring a little bit. Maybe you add a filter over it. You modify it for your needs, and guess what? It's your original work. So that's the kind of stuff that I've done on occasion. Usually, most of the stuff that I do now at this point, I get some of it from Midjourney or I create it myself. However, if you're going to be using stuff like that for backgrounds and pictures, all you have to do is modify it for your needs and you should be okay. So hopefully that helps you out. Yeah, hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question. I think I did answer the last two questions, right? The last one what was that about the YOLO box? Yeah, YOLO. I really think Starlink might be a thing that can help you, because obviously the cell phone signal that you're getting up there, you could try changing signal providers. Some get better service in some areas than others. Maybe the places that you're going just aren't serviced very well by that. But then again, it's on a volcano. Why would they be providing or be inclined to try to provide cellular service on a volcano? They're probably not all that motivated to put up stuff there. So something like Starlink, you don't have to worry about that. It just gets a signal. I don't know what the upload speeds are like in Starlink, but I would be willing to bet that they're better than a cell phone signal. So that's just my thought. Let's get another question.
Okay. This question is from Steve T.
Hello, Steve.
It's a longer question.
Okay.
I'm going to read the whole thing. So, okay. He says, I've noticed the weirdest issue when recording 4K content using my capture device, which is a Sony a6400. Every now and then, while recording talking head videos, my video starts micro stuttering. The only fix I found is to close OBS, then reopen it. After doing this, everything appears normal again, almost as if OBS changes the frame rate in the middle of recording. Whenever this happens, my CPU utilization does not change, it's less than 2%, and OBS reports no frames being dropped. I'm using a new beefy PC that runs anything flawlessly, even high VR settings. So the PC is not struggling while recording at 4K. For the record, I'm using...
You can stop there, because I have the same thing on my machine. So let me talk about because
Tonight's question forum is now closed. It will reopen next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of tonight's broadcast.
The exact same capture card, I still experience the same kind of tearing and that sort of stuff when recording my videos that you're describing. You know what's incredible? I never experienced that sort of problem when I'm doing the live stream or anything like that. So you know, here's what I've determined it to probably be on my system. Usually I will notice that it's doing the tearing and the weird little zigzags and the kind of stuff that you're describing when I have an editing software open like Premiere or DaVinci Resolve. If I close down Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or Photoshop or some other image editing software that I'm using, generally, almost always, that totally disappears. So I guess my question to you would be, are you using or do you have opened some sort of editing software while you're using OBS? Because obviously you're recording, then you're bringing it into your editing software and you're editing it. If you're like me, you probably have both open at the same time. And I did notice that when I close DaVinci Resolve or when I close Adobe Premiere, that problem seems to disappear. So that would be my guess. At least that's the best guess that I have. And like I said, I have had the exact same problem that you're having. So try that out. Let me know in the comments, really, if that's a thing that you've noticed. Actually, let me know in the comments if you're running your editing software at the same time. And let's get another question. Oh, maybe not. Monica just got a phone call. There's the YouTube angel, Pauline. Hello, Pauline.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Michael. Would you like to take the next question?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, this is from Easy Law, Highest Law. And actually, he has a bunch of questions, and I'm just going to kind of tear through them because they're all about the same thing. He's asking about how to do the faces because he's teaching kids constitutions and highest law. And he's also wondering basically how to make it more interesting and the best voices to read documents and is there anything better than OBS to do anything like that?
Okay, cool. So the faces that I do are all done from let's go over here and I will specifically open this up to show you. So all the faces that I use are done in Snap Camera, which I did a video on how you can use Snap Camera even now, even though it's been closed down. So you could try it. I'm just letting you know they did close down Snap Camera. So the process to install it, well, let's just say that a certain percentage of people that are doing it fail. However, once you do get it up, you could search for all kinds of really cool faces that they have in here. I absolutely love it. I have mine all favorited. So we have the Joker face, and we have the this guy here, the Knight, and I could do Monkey Man, Darth Maul, and this guy right here, man, he's really super chill. So I've got all kinds of cool faces in here that I've found and over time. So Snap Camera is what I use for that, and obviously I use it in OBS in conjunction with everything I do. However, well, thank you to Pineapple. I appreciate that. Are you from Australia too, Pineapple? I just have to know. I have to know. Let's see if 2 Pineapple left a message, and I will get right back to this question in just a second. But let's see. 2 Pineapple, we appreciate you. Aloha. So 2 Pineapple, you are from, I'm assuming, you are from Hawaii. So you probably didn't know that that the money down in Australia is called pineapples either. That was just a fun little tidbit that I added to the stream. But thank you so much to Pineapples for the tip. I really, really do appreciate it. So let's go back. And Michael, you might have to refresh my memory on what I was talking about. Oh, okay. All right. So, so that's what I use for my faces. And then, as far as voices go, I use VoiceMod. It is a paid application, but it's not a monthly subscription fee application. It's a one-time thing. You're going to find all kinds of voices in here, from AI voices like Advancer voice and or Announcer voice and Giga Chat and that sort of stuff. And just to give you some idea of what some of these sound like, let's see here. This one right here, it might take a couple seconds when I select
it. I could turn it on. And now you can hear what it sounds like. This is supposed to be more of a narration style voice. You can follow. So there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free makers.
And once again, these don't have to go through OBS. Snap Camera doesn't have to go through OBS. You can use both of those in Zoom or in any other meeting type software that you want to put it together. Now, the reason why you might want to use OBS is because of all the other aspects that it gives you, like the ability to put up slides and have funky transitions from one scene to another, move your camera around the screen. Different things like that can be more engaging for an audience. And we all know that a young audience doesn't have the longest attention span ever. That's a nice one, the LoopDeLoop. You'll never see a BMW 735 do the LoopDeLoop. I can promise you that. But all that sort of stuff adds visual entertainment to, you know, your presentation, which can keep young kids entertained who don't seem to have a whole heck of a lot of attention span. With that being said, it really actually kind of sounds like the subject matter that you're teaching should theoretically be interesting enough for kids to grasp. And I love the fact that you're trying to add faces and voices to tell the story, to make it more engaging. And I think you could pull it off. I really do. I really do. I think that sounds absolutely awesome. Yeah. So, but the two things that I showed you with the voices and all that stuff and the faces, those can be used in any application. It doesn't have to be OBS. So if you find that it's easier for you to use Prism, that's cool. If you use Zoom, that's cool. Even Skype or something like that will be just fine with face application, just like this one. If you can get it to work, which, like I said, it's not actually available to the public anymore. So the reason why I'm able to use this is because some wonderful, wonderful person put it on a private server. Now it's private. However, everybody has access to load it up and use it. It just seems like some people are having a lot of difficulty figuring out how to get that to work, even though I did do a video on how to do it. So the Logician posted the link for that video, and you could check it out. Let's see if Monica is back. Oh, look at that. There she is. We came to you before, and it was just an empty chair.
I'm sorry. 17.
Is everything going all right?
Yes, everything is fine. I just got a phone call that I had to answer, so.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yes.
For the next one. Okay, next question from Frank Kirsch. He wants to know,
Hello,
is there a
Frank.
difference? Is there a difference, pro or con, to an internal versus external video capture card? I know the Elgato HD60 is pretty inexpensive, but I wasn't sure which one would take more resources or if they're the same.
Well, if I'm being honest, and can you bring one of those up to me while I answer this?
Sure.
Thank you. I got this cough thing, and if she brings it up, it'll help me. Yes, we are in the same house. So if I never noticed any kind of performance issue when I was using the USB version. However, I can definitely see how there could be a performance issue when you're using the USB dongle for that sort of stuff, as opposed to the card that goes in the machine. Now, I can tell you right now that the card that goes in the machine, I use the Stream Deck, what is it? The Camlink Pro, I guess it's called. And that does all the processing on its own, and it just sends the video wherever it's supposed to go. So literally, you're never going to run into any performance issues using it. It's amazing. It really is fantastic. However, like I said, I never ran into any performance issues when I was using the USB dongle. I thought I had it out here somewhere so I could actually show you guys what I'm talking about, but I literally don't see it anywhere. It's basically just a thing where you plug in your HDMI on one end, and then you plug in USB into the computer on the other. Now, also, Professor Mark Cashin makes a statement here, Elgato. And that is a very good point. There are hundreds of different third-party cam cards out there, capture cards. I've never used any of them. Thank you. I've never used any of them, so I couldn't tell you whether they are good, bad, or indifferent. I know some people have found some that work, and some people swear by them, but like I said, I've only ever used the Elgato capture cards. So I can't speak to whether any of the other ones are any good. Also, you asked about the HD60, and everything, I don't physically have an HD60 or an HD60X. However, everything that I've heard about them is positive. And I don't see why they wouldn't work as well as the CamLink or the CamLink Pro that I have. So I would definitely say if you're going to do it, it's not super expensive. I think you could get it for around $129. I always think the Elgato stuff is worth the extra money because it just works. And usually the software that accompanies it adds features that you're just not going to get on the $50 card. So hopefully that makes sense to you. You know, maybe not. Let's get another question. Hey, babe.
Hey, all right.
You made it.
I did.
Cheers.
Quite a haul up those stairs.
I appreciate it, though. I was coughing and everything while you were on your phone call because it just got so dry. It is a little warm in here and dry. So.
Yeah, it is warm. I can feel it as I Okay. All right.
Chug on.
Truck on. All right. So Just Not Good has a question. He says, I'm trying to get my Twitch page on stream to look better by adding bits and other stuff. My problem is that I make changes, but I cannot remember how to see my page without starting to stream. I have so many dashboards, stream elements, sound alerts, and trying to add the emote wall, but I can't tell if it's working. How do I see my live Twitch page?
Okay. That is one of the major flaws, in my opinion, with Twitch, is the inability to just do a test stream. You can do, yeah, definitely fall allergy season, Phoebe. You can do a test stream, but it only really tests the how well your signal's working. You can't actually see your screen or anything like that. It doesn't let you test a stream to nobody like YouTube does, because you could put the video in unlisted, test everything, and use it. However, YouTube doesn't give you access to bits and all that sort of stuff so that you could test those things. So really the only options that you have to test that sort of stuff are what it looks like in OBS by going into Stream Elements or whatever application you're using for those bit actions to happen, and triggering them and testing them that way. But that's really the only way you could test stuff on Twitch without just going live. And you know the reason why I don't think Twitch has a test thing? Because they think that you should just go live and test with an audience. They would just much rather you be live and test that way. And if I'm being honest, people spend so much time being live on Twitch that I'm sure that's pretty much exactly how they do all their testing. So I guess I'm a big proponent of trying to test everything to make sure it works flawlessly. And anyone who's ever watched this stream for very long knows that no matter how much you test, things sometimes don't go right. Because we've had plenty of bad things happen on this stream. Had the stream just cut out a couple of weeks ago. We have stuff that just doesn't work right. And, you know, stuff like it happens. It's always going to happen no matter how much you test. So, my suggestion, probably Just Not Good, would be to just go live and test it. If you want, and you want to make sure that you have an audience to test it with, maybe go on Discord or somebody's Discord or whatever where there's a bunch of people in there and say, hey, I want to test some things on my live stream. You guys want to come and hang out for a second and we can see if this stuff works. So there you go. Give it a shot. Let's get another question.
Okay.
Hey.
Question from Professor Mark. He says, what's your OBS average time to render frames in milliseconds?
Well, let's take a look. We're going to go over here to our tutorial screen, and I will bring up, for those of you who don't know, if you go into View, and there's a thing called Stats right here, it brings this up. Now, this obviously isn't stats for my live stream, because it's stats for this one. But let's go ahead and bring up the one for my live OBS right here, and you can see I am live. And so our average time to render a frame is 2.5 milliseconds. You can see that frames missed 43, and skipped frames due to encoding is 10, which is good. As long as these aren't in the red, you're in pretty good shape. We can see my bit rate here and all that kind of stuff. Dropped frames on the network, 0. So that's pretty good. You know that we're not having network problems when we're never dropping any frames. So most of the frames here were probably dropped switching scenes, stuff like that. I've got a lot going on my live stream, so that doesn't really surprise me. But there you go. That's where you get all that information, just in case any of you were interested. You also see that I operate at 30 frames per second. I don't need it to be any faster than that. I know all the game streamers want to live stream at 60 or whatever. That's fine. That's fine. You do you. I live stream at 30 frames per second, and you can see that even with the comprehensive action that I have going on my live stream, the CPU usage is only 3.2, which is friggin' amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So and I don't have a supercomputer here. You know, we're not dealing with a supercomputer here. It's pretty standard stuff. I have I think a 3080 Ti graphics card and a pretty current CPU. Not the greatest that you could buy, but a good one. I didn't skimp. I bought a decent one. I think there's 32 gigs, 64 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs, somewhere in there. And I am operating on SSDs, completely SSDs or MV2 MEs. So my storage is very quick, and I think that makes all the difference. But there you go. Now you kind of have an idea of where I'm at when I live stream. Let's go and get another question. All right.
Okay. Mysterious Outdoors has a question.
Well, I hope he looks this good.
In OBS, I can't hear my mic on desktop audio, but I can hear everything else. Media, mic on webcam, all other things. In OBS, I can see it's working. I just can't hear it.
Well, okay. Let's go and see if we can explore the reasons why you might not be able to hear it. And I'm assuming that you don't mean you can't physically hear it in your headphones. I'm assuming you're meaning that you can't hear it on the live stream. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But here are the areas right here in advanced audio properties where you're going to set that up. So if I wanted to be able to hear my microphone on my live stream in my headphones, I would have to drop this down and select monitor and output. What monitor means is that I can hear it and it's going out to the live stream. If I wanted to hear it, but I didn't want it to go out to the stream, I'd put monitor only, mute output, which means I'm hearing it, but the audience is not. You can do that with music or all kinds of stuff, like if you have a producer that helps you in the background, you could do it with them. And then if you just want it to go to the stream and you don't want to hear it, you're going to have it set to monitor only. And that is the default for all audio in OBS when you set it up. It's always going to be set to monitor off, which means that it's going out to the live stream, but you can't actually hear it in your headphones unless you set it up that way. And 9 times out of 10, you are not going to want to set it up so you're monitoring your own audio, because there's going to be like a half-second delay that is going to drive you nuts. It is really, really, really difficult to talk when your audio is feeding back into your head. It's really difficult, especially when it's delayed. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question, helps you work through the problem. Let's get another question.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, Tim is the next question.
Hello, Tim.
I do live stream sales. I'm having trouble getting Voice Meter, Voice Mod, and OBS to work together. Any tips?
Voice Meter, Voice Mod, and what?
And OBS.
Oh, okay. Well, Voice Meter's pretty complicated, and so I can't give you a whole heck of a lot of information there. I guess the big question is, why would you use Voice Meter? Voice Mod will connect right into OBS. Let me show you how you would do that. Let's go over here to the tutorial. So I use voice mod on my live stream, as you saw. So if I wanted to have voice mod in here, I can go to properties on my camera. I can scroll down to the microphone that the camera is using, and I can use a custom audio device. Yep, well, maybe not. That just... Alright, so that just died. I gotta open that up again. Let's see here. At least it didn't kill the stream this time. That's good. That is good. We're going to go to unlisted scene collection. I believe that's not it. And yeah, that's the one. We're going to reset our UI so you guys can see. There we go. All right, so refresh my memory. What was the question? Oh, yeah, okay, so then when you come down here and you use a custom audio device, you could go and select your voice mod microphone right here. So there's no reason to use voice meter unless you're trying to go from OBS to another application. That would be the only reason to use voice meter. However, you would load voice mod into OBS and then use voice meter going out from OBS, so the two don't, the two shall never meet, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm not sure what, I'm not really sure what would be the shakeup. The only thing I can tell you is voice mod is pretty easy to set up and use, whereas voice meter is a friggin' nightmare. So I don't get it. That's why I don't use it. If you can find a way to do what you need to do without voice meter, I would probably do it. I would probably do it because it is just difficult to use. It's very confusing and difficult. So I've done a couple of videos on using voice meter, and mostly I don't use it or don't like it because I find that most people can't figure out how to use it. And when I've used it or set it up, I find it to be somewhat wonky and difficult to set up and use anyways. So that I'm guessing that you're probably doing something wrong in voice meter, but I couldn't tell you what that is, unfortunately, because I'm not very good at using it either. There are, however, guys like ePostVox and those sorts of guys who use voice meter all the time for different aspects of their stream who may have a better bead on where the disconnect is for you, and they may have a video that can help you too, because they do videos on voice meter a lot more often than I do. I think I've done one or two, because I try to keep it simple, mostly for new streamers and that sort of stuff, and I try to keep it really simple on my live streams because I find that I think that having fancy bells and whistles on your stream is fun, and I have lots of them on this stream, but I've kept them as simple and as basic a function as I possibly can, because engaging with the audience is what a live stream is really all about. And if you're spending all this time pushing buttons and doing this and doing that, well, it just takes away from your ability to really engage with your audience. So that's why I try to keep it as simple as possible. Let's get another question.
Okay. Next one is from Delta Tango.
Well, hello, Delta Tango.
The vast majority of tools you feature in your videos are for OBS. I use Prism. If you don't mention Prism, then does that mean that it won't work with Prism?
Well, generally speaking, just like Streamlabs, plugins are only made for Prism Lives. Plugins are only made for OBS. However, let's go over here into our tutorial and let's pop into Prism. Now, there are lots of plugins that have been added into Prism Live Studio, and usually if they are added, it's not something that you can add in as a plugin. It's going to be something that you find down here in Tools. So the automatic scene switcher. the output timer and scripts. Where is the other one? There, every once in a while there'll be experimental features that they put in here that you could go in and use. See, they've added custom browser docs. So actually, I said before that the chat thing wouldn't work. That's not true. You can add the chat in here as a custom browser doc. So everything in Social Stream Ninja will work in Prism. Maybe I'll have to do a video on that just to show you. But in Tools, sometimes there's a thing in here that will give you access to some experimental stuff. Oh, here it is, Prism Lab. So sometimes there is stuff like remote message, things like that, that's kind of experimental, but you can add it into Prism. And this is where they try out different plugins and that sort of stuff that you could just go to the plugins page in OBS. And that's where they kind of put them in Prism to test them out. And then if they function, it's something that they add in. So if you notice, if I go in here, things like the audio capture right here, application audio capture, that used to kind of be a plugin, now it's integrated in here. Different things like that. So really, a lot of the chat and all that stuff that you would find for plugins is kind of built right into it. And it may function differently. So generally speaking, if I don't mention Prism, it doesn't necessarily guarantee it won't work. Like for the most current video that I had put out, I guess last Friday, where I'm talking about the Chat Ninja, or I guess it's called Social Stream Ninja these days. Everything in Social Stream Ninja will function just the same in Prism as it does in OBS, but I never mentioned it. So I think that's one of those things where I'm going to have to go and maybe create a Prism video for it. And since Prism really just wants me to show how you can use Prism, and they sponsor the channel all the time, that's kind of what I try to do. I kind of do a OBS video, and then I do a corresponding Prism video that shows you how to do the exact same thing. So generally speaking, if it's something that you can do, you're probably going to find a video on how to do it in Prism on the channel. But there are some things that you can do that I don't actually talk about. However, if it's a specific plugin, chances are it's OBS only. And believe me, I always get the question in my comments, can I do this in Streamlabs? Can I do this in Streamlabs? The answer is 99.9% of the time, no, it's a plugin that's made strictly for OBS. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it is for us folks who like to use third-party stuff that's based on OBS, but maybe takes it a bit farther. Well, you have to kind of sacrifice the fact that you can't use those plugins. So there you go. Let's get another question.
Okey-doke. All right, this one, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, Yudi, just in case. Question is, what's the best way to capture browser, such as Google Chrome, besides browser source on OBS? I use it to capture YouTube.
Okay, repeat it just quick.
What's the best way to capture browser, such as Google Chrome, besides browser source on OBS?
All right.
I use it to capture YouTube.
Gotcha. All right, so let's go over here, and we're going to go, and we're in OBS, and the best way to capture a browser or pretty much anything else would be to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this. This is a browser right here. It's Google Chrome. I'm just going to put it up on my other screen, and then what I'm going to do is click the plus, and I'm going to go to our window capture, which would be the best way to do what you're trying to do. And I'm going to drop this down and select the window that I want to capture. In this case, it's Chrome. So, boom, there we go. So now we've got our Chrome window in here. And, you know, maybe we don't want the whole thing. Maybe we don't want this up here. So we can hold the Alt key, and we can just crop this however we want it. And this will work for any window. It doesn't have to be Chrome. It'll work for games or whatever we want. So there we go. Now, you'll also see that it is this specific shape. If you change the shape of the window that you're capturing, it's going to change the shape right here. So make sure that you get the shape that you want before you capture it, and then you leave the shape of that window go for the entire time. But that is the easiest way to capture stuff if you don't want to use a browser source or anything like that. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question here. I have to pop over.
Okay.
Pop over. All right, we're ready.
All right, the English Lab has the next question. It says, how do I fix the zoom and follow mouse script? The hotkey to enable the zoom and follow don't appear in the hotkey settings.
That's interesting. I don't know, because I'd have to take a closer look at the actual script plugin. Some of those things work better than others. I'm assuming that you are just basically using it. Well, I don't know what it does, so I can't tell you how to make it better, because I haven't used that particular script. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not somebody in the chat who doesn't know how it works or how to make it work. So maybe ask around in the chat to Chance or Just Not Good or one of the other, the Logician, or one of the other guys who are in the chat may have experience with that, and maybe they could tell you what you might be doing wrong. So, sorry I can't be more help. Let's get another question.
Okay. Is it time to go? Okay. Question from Johnny Joystick. Johnny says, I've recorded a few gaming videos with OBS. Can I use the same profile to stream as I do to record videos?
You can, but I don't recommend it. Let me show you why. So, generally speaking, when you're recording, you're going to want to use different settings than when you're actually streaming. The reason why is, well, I guess it depends what sort of camera you have. But, you know, honestly, it doesn't matter. For a lot of times throughout my time as a YouTuber, I did actually record in the same profile as I stream. But as you can see now, I have different profiles for recording. So if I go to my 4K record and I go to this, you can see that I can capture the screen, or I have my camera here. So, you know, I have two different scenes, and I have in settings, I have this all set up for exactly how I want to do my recordings. I don't have anything set up for streaming because I never stream on this profile. But that's the thing. You can set both of these up in your streaming and recording profiles, and it could be exactly how you want it. So it's really just a product of whether you're going to use different settings for each. If you're going to use different settings in for your video quality and all that stuff in your recordings than what you're using in your stream, then I would set up multiple profiles and multiple scene collections for each. If, however, you are recording in the same quality or in the same manner for your live streams as you are for your videos, then there's no reason to change it at all. You could just leave it exactly the same and set it up. So yeah, I think there's merit to both ways. And for a very long time, I used the exact same screens as I used to stream, or the exact same collection that I used to stream to record my content as well. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you. I guess it's kind of a non-committal on my part because it's like, well, you know, do whatever works best for you. However, there is merit to both ways. So let's get another question.
Okay. Storm Chaser 2010 is up. How do I stream with OBS Studio on Xbox Series X? I've never done it before.
What was that? Sorry.
How do I stream with OBS Studio on Xbox Series X? I've never done it before.
All right. So you're gonna have to use some sort of capture card. So we talked about we talked about the HD60 earlier in the stream. Basically what it is, it's a little box that's going to sit on, you know, near your computer or whatever, and you're going to plug the output from your Xbox into it, and then you're going to have another AV cable that's going to go from the HD60 into your TV so you can actually physically see the Xbox, and then you're going to have another output cable that's going to run from there into your computer, and that is the one that's going to bring the signal in as if it was an external monitor, so that you can grab that signal and put it in OBS, and it will show the actual audio and video from the Xbox. And really, that's how you do it. There are some stuff, especially for PlayStation, where you can actually stream your video to another machine, and then you could capture that video and put it on your stream. I don't know if that exists on the Xbox or not. I don't physically have one, so there you go with that. But it's probably possible. Like Steam has its a remote Steam, so I could grab the remote Steam screen and stream that. But I don't know if Xbox has some kind of remote stream sort of aspect or application, whereas I know that PlayStation does. So let's go ahead and hopefully that answers your question. The Elgato HD60X is probably the what you're going to be looking for. It is by far the easiest and most reliable way to stream any consoles. So let's get another question. Oh, yep, there we go.
Okay. All right, next question. Feyrer TV has the next question.
Hello, Feyrer TV.
When will we be able to use StreamerBot with Prism?
That's a good question. The best way to make something like that happen is just to go on StreamerBot's Discord and ask them. I promise you that if enough people ask about it, they will do it. They will absolutely do it. Mm-hmm. However, if nobody's asking them about it, that just to them is going to say, well, nobody's interested, or it doesn't matter, or they don't want it. So the best way to make something like that happen is to go and ask them. Go right on their Discord and say, hey, are you guys going to be setting up StreamerBot for Prism Live Studio? Just ask them. And if enough people do that, they'll put it on there, I promise. They're actually really awesome guys over there at StreamerBot. So that's the best way to make it happen, is to let them know that there are a lot of people who want it. Let's get another question.
Next question is from Easy Law, Highest Law. And they say OBS is stuck, or I cannot resize my camera capture of me or move it to a location where it does not block what I have on screen. How do I edit? How to record without top and bottom of my screen, only certain spots so they do not see my personal ribbons? That might be two questions.
Well, it probably is two questions, but that's okay. As far as recording specific locations on the screen, there's really not any way to do that in OBS. The best thing that I would say is for you to grab whatever you want and just get it off the screen. So you'll notice that this screen is a little bit scrunchy. In other words, I have it bigger to remove pieces off the screen that I don't want you to see. Like you can see my microphone peeking out right there in the corners of the room. So in order to avoid showing that, I just embiggen the screen and kind of place it in here how I want it, and there you go. And that's how you're going to want to do it. Now, I don't know why you would be having trouble moving your stuff around the screen, but if you right-click over here or over there or whatever, you can go into preview scaling, and you want to change this up. Mess around with these settings right here, and I believe the scale to window is the one that you want, and that will give you the ability to do this, which is if I click here and then I hold down the space bar, and I just turned it off actually, enable preview. There we go. I just locked it down. Preview scaling. So then if I click here, no, now it's not working. Of course, preview scaling. So we'll try, let's try canvas. There we go. So then if I click and then I hold down the space bar, I can move this around. So you can see I could make it bigger, smaller. So if I wanted to zoom this in, we could do that. And then I can, you know, zoom back in like that. So that's how you fix that problem. You can also always right click and transform, and you could reset the transform. So it'll go right back the way it was. Then I hit the space bar and I zoom in. Now for any of you having problems like the one that's described in this question, you can go to OBS. They actually, let's see here, OBS. And that's not what I wanted to do. If we go into OBS, you can go to the help. And so you've got your official Discord, and you've got guides and help and forums and source and all that stuff. But if you go to guides and help, they've got getting started, troubleshooting, OBS Studio, streaming. There is a place in one of these that, and it's probably in getting started, where it's going to talk about all of the hotkeys and everything else that exist for OBS, because, you know, a lot of people probably don't realize that you can go ahead and hold your space bar to be able to zoom in and out. But if you go out to their website, you know, you're gonna find a place in here that's going to tell you how to do it. You could also ask on the forums. The guys on the forums are extremely helpful. So you can tell them exactly, specifically what your problem is, and they should be able to help you to kind of work around whatever issues you're having, especially as it pertains to resizing things and all that. And man, we really knocked out likes out of the park tonight. I really do appreciate it, guys. You have no idea how much of a difference that makes on the channel when you like a video, or you know, you're communicating in the chat or anything like that. Is so ridiculously helpful to a YouTuber to help their content get noticed. Let's get another question.
Okay. All right. Crispy has a question. I've been having trouble with my bots. I had Nightbot and had timers set, but they never go off in my chat. So I tried WiseBot. Same thing. My commands work, but my timers don't go off. I tried parting channel, unmodding, then connecting again, and remodding both bots, but nothing works. Except for the end of one stream, my Nightbot timers all went off at once, but then never again. WiseBot will give me the timer that tells me how long I've been streaming and for how many people, but that's it. I'm going to try Stream Elements for the timers, but what should I try if that fails too?
Well, that's a really good question. I don't have a lot of experience with the timer aspects of these. And from what I understand, you know, they're pretty cool. You can set a timer, it'll count down, do all that kind of stuff. I don't have a lot of experience with them, but if I had to guess, I would say it's possible that you're multi-streaming and it doesn't know which platform it should be getting the information from. If I had to guess. So in other words, if you were just streaming to Twitch, it would probably work okay. If you were just streaming to YouTube, it would probably work okay. If you were just streaming to Kick, it would probably work okay. But when you add multiple streams in there, and then I think it might be confusing the bot. That's my guess, but I can't be sure because I don't obviously know if you're multi-streaming. But that's one thing that would explain why it is doing what it's doing. I can't think of a lot of other reasons why it would be doing what it's doing, other than the possibility that somehow the way you have it set up is just, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like the whatever numbers you're using or however it's set up. But as long as like StreamerBot is directly connected to the platform, be it YouTube or Twitch, it should theoretically work properly. I mean, I've had bot problems in the past as well, so it's not like I can't say it's never happened. Sometimes we'll just go on a live stream and the bot never shows up. It's like, well, where were you? You know. But for the most part, I find them to be pretty pretty accurate. Hopefully that helps you out. But, you know, I would say, so you're not multi-streaming, just using OBS to Twitch. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. You know, I'm guessing, given the fact that you've had basically the same, you mean announcements, so how long in between? All right, so I'm thinking it depends. A lot of those timers are set up based on how many chats have gone in between the thing. So depending upon how you have the number of lines that are supposed to go in between, if your chat's moving super slow, it will not start that timer until that number of chat lines has been reached. So I think it's possible that you might have it set up so that there's too many lines of chat that is waiting to happen before it will move on and do, you know, do what you want it to do. So hopefully that makes sense. It definitely, I would guess, has to be a setting, especially since it's happened to you on two different timer applications. I'm guessing that that's the situation, and I'm sure the form is closed by now. Just not good. We did that a while ago. Let's get another question.
Okay. Okay, Starry Plays Roblox has the next question.
All right.
In OBS, is it possible to make folders with scenes in them?
I'm pretty sure it is. That's a really good question. Folders with scenes. That I do not believe is possible. No, I don't think it's possible. You can do folders over here. If I had multiples in here, I can do a folder in here. I do not believe that in the scene window you can have a bunch of folders in there, unfortunately. So, sorry. It would be kind of cool, and I would definitely love it if they would give you a way to structure your stream. I mean, you guys have seen my stream. If I go over here, right here, I mean, look at this. Wouldn't it be sweet to be able to structure some of these so I don't have so many? And this is like super easy compared to how my old stream was. I mean, holy mackerel, that was a freaking nightmare. That had like 50 scenes in it. This one is relatively easy to handle, comparatively speaking. But again, it would be really nice to be able to really, you know, put all of my downstream keyer scenes in one folder and stuff like that. That would be friggin' awesome. But no, it's not something you could do. Let's get another question.
Okay. Question from Sleeveless Meeting. Okay, I bought a Logitech C90, and with my green screen up, the camera over my gameplay, I look like a ghost, which is the opposite of my cheap ONN webcam where I was really dark. Lighting hasn't changed. Any tips?
So basically, you're using two different cameras and getting two completely different results. The answer to that is usually quality lighting. Quality lighting will go a long way. However, well, let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So we've got my camera right here. If I click the plus and I go to video capture device, and I don't know what other cameras I have loaded in here. So let's just have fun and find out. Is that one in here? No? Let's see. This one probably is in here. Is it? No. No, that one's not working either. That might be working. Let's go to custom, and we'll go to resolution, and let's do that. I don't know. Let's see if that one's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna. Nope. So that one isn't functional or plugged in right now. What about our? Yeah, maybe I don't have. I guess maybe I don't have another camera in here, which is really strange. Usually I have multiple cameras in here. so I could set this up. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that every single camera that you're going to get is going to have a different way that it deals with the lighting situation in your room. So it all depends on how big or how small the aperture is. So on a on an iPhone, I've got 3 different apertures, and 2 of these are actually the same size. The other one is different, so they're letting in more light. And then, of course, the iPhone processes that light in a different way than my DSLR camera, then my webcam, and then that webcam. All of those process the light in a completely different way, so that you can't actually guarantee that you're going to get the same look or the same lighting from each camera. So the easiest way to do that is to adjust that in the camera software. So what I mean by that is going in here and then going to our configure video right here. Now, obviously, since I'm using a DSLR, this is taking me to configure the actual capture card that I'm using to get that. But if I was using a webcam or something like that, it would bring up a bunch of webcam settings that would allow me to bring up the brightness or whatever I want to do. So configure video here is going to be your friend. It's going to allow you to adjust those images so they look similar together. But you're always going to get different stuff, and especially if you don't have great lighting, you can expect wildly different results from 2 different cameras easily, because every camera just handles light and processes light different. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get another question.
There is actually a second question from Sleeveless Meeting here. He says, "You're really animated in your videos. I try to do that when I record, but even when I try to be more energetic, I'm still blah. Did that come naturally to you or something you learned? And if so, how?"
Well, all right. This is such a cool question, because he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I am actually a pretty soft-spoken person. So when I first started doing YouTube, I would just talk to the camera like I'm talking to you right now. Probably not even with this much energy. I would just talk to the camera. And then when I would watch it back, I'm like, oh my God, I'm the most boring person in the world. It's really strange. So the best way that I can describe it is, the reason why I kind of had an understanding of how it works is because I was involved in singing on stage and theater for parts of my life, mostly singing, and we've done competitions and all that sort of stuff for singing. And generally speaking, whatever seems over the top to you when you're doing it on screen isn't close enough to over the top. And so that's another thing that makes it so uncomfortable when you first get in front of a camera and start doing this YouTube thing, is that you don't realize how much more over the top you have to be in order to really seem like you're energetic and excited and all that sort of stuff. It's not easy. It's exhausting to do. However, it is a skill, and when you watch yourself back, you can learn to adjust that skill so that you're, you'll eventually get to the point where it's not so bad. Or you're going to at least get to the point where you can watch yourself. So I understand. I've been there. Yeah, my nose grows. I'm obviously lying. It's not easy. I think you learn it over time. And my kids, because they know me, when they watch my content, they're like, "You're always yelling." And it's like, the alternative to that is to seem like you're bored or disinterested, or you're not engaged in the video. So I totally get what you're talking about. Keep at it. Keep watching your content. The best that I can explain it is, when it feels like it's too much coming from you, just a little more is probably going to get it done. So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe a theater class or something like that. The reason why I kind of have a little bit more of an understanding is because I did do stuff on stage and things like that for parts of my life. So I had, you have to learn to speak louder, and you have to learn to do that sort of stuff. It just is what it is. Just what it is, what it is. Sleevers MTG. Excuse me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Sorry, got that little tickle in my throat again. Ugh.
It's dry up there.
I love that question. That is such a cool question because, I mean, you remember, honey, when I first started doing this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well,
I'd just
everybody
kind of in the garage talking to the camera, and it's like, oh my God, does this guy even have a pulse? I can remember watching it myself going, oh, no. But, yeah. You just gotta get over that fear of talking to the camera and
practice. It's just practice.
You're right. It is. Hopefully that helps you. Oh, jeez. What was that?
Practice? Are we talking practice? It's just.
Are we talking about practice? Are we talking about practice? Not a game. Practice?
Practice?
Are we talking about practice?
How many people do even get that, I wonder?
Not a game. Practice.
Practice? Yeah.
We're talking about practice.
We got a lot of Allen Iverson fans in the house. Let us know. You'll know what we're talking about there. All right, let's get another question.
Oh, well, as disappointing as this might be, we are out of questions for the evening.
What do you mean we're out of questions? How could we possibly be out of questions? I thought you said there was all kinds of questions and we were going to be here all night answering all these questions because they were so friggin' epic. No, I don't understand. All right. What did you do? What did you do? Did you make everyone so angry that they just stopped asking questions?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I did not make people angry that they stopped asking questions. We had to put a stop to the questions because we couldn't be here all night.
But look, Mama Bear, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I know you
know
don't like
that.
it. But we had to stop the questions tonight so we had more to answer next Wednesday.
Well, you know what's even more disturbing than the fact that we don't have any questions?
What?
This! Look at this! Why do I have chicken neck? I'm like 9 years old. I shouldn't have chicken neck. There's something really wrong with that. I don't understand it. And look at this! Arm hair! I'm 5 years old with arm hair! I'm gonna look like a goddamn gorilla when I get older. What am I supposed to do with that?
Swearing, 5-year-old. Whoa.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. See, if we're going to do that, we have to bring Michael in so he can make these comments. Because the audience doesn't understand why Monica's not, she's laughing. She thinks I farted or something.
I said, why are you wearing that shirt? Can you name one song? Take it off before something bad happens, like they break up or something.
You know what? Right now I'm looking into the eyes of a stranger. That's all I can say. 2 strangers.
Listen, I got an 11-year-old that's got to go to bed.
Yep.
And the wife,
I'll tell you what, man.
Yep.
This has been an absolute freaking blast tonight. I'm so glad to be back streaming. It has been so much fun. Great. Thank you, Michael, for coming and hanging out and helping to moderate the questions and all that good stuff. And Thank you, honey, for asking all questions.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We got 80 likes tonight.
Yeah.
And we kept a strong 40 folks in the stream watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. When you go on hiatus for a month, you don't know what it's going to be like when you come back. It feels pretty doggone good to have everybody come out, hang out, make sure that my nose is extended the entire time or whatever. I really hope you guys are having fun with the point system. At some point, I will revamp the point system so that, it works better and all that stuff. But I'm really just so thankful that you guys enjoy it and we can have fun with it. I really am. But I think that's about it for us tonight.
I think so. I think we are ready to wrap it up.
Go Phillies.
All right. You go Phillies for sure. All right. Well, you could take it away, Monica.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't sure. Okay. Well, we truly enjoyed this evening. Truly enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We're glad you came and stopped by and hung out and gave him a nose and everything else. That was a lot of fun. So we should be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone. Come on back. Bring your questions. We'll give you popcorn. You give us questions. Michael will give you answers. It's a win-win all the way around. So come on back and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.
See you, babe. Oh, what a night. I love you guys. Thank you so much. At the end of every stream, I like to talk just a little bit about the world that we live in. I know it sucks. People suck. They're not good to each other. But the only way that we can ever fix any of that stuff is by just looking inward and saying, what can I do to make people's lives better? What can I do to make the world a better place? And try to do something nice for someone else. And you know what? If enough of us take the time to just do something nice for someone else, maybe they pass it on, and maybe just in some small way, we make the world a better place. We'll make people more positive. We'll make people more excited about interacting and being a part of other people's lives. Because that's what it takes. We can't complain about it. We got to be a part of the solution, not the problem. So there you go. It's just me, Alien Head, asking you to do something nice for someone else. At the very least, it'll make you feel good. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Today's video is sponsored by Envato Placeit. Placeit is a marketplace for all kinds of assets that can help you with your YouTube channel. Things like art and live streaming and video assets. You can create amazing face cams and live streaming overlays really easily. There are hundreds of templates, and each face cam and overlay can be modified with different designs, colors, text, and text fonts. The process is super easy, and you can even incorporate your own logo, or if you're like me, your own Placeit design logo, and you can put it right in your design. This gives you an infinite number of overlays and face cam possibilities for your live streams. And they're so easy to create, you can use a different one every time you live stream if you wanted to. So please, click the link in the description and check out Envato Placeit for yourself. If you have the means, supporting the sponsors that support the channel is a great way to help me keep making awesome content that helps you. So thanks.